we are looking at a couple new suffixes, able and ible, and they take words and make them into adjectives. They take base words or word chunks and make these words into adjectives or describing words. And we're going to take a look at the differences between them. So let's look at these first four words as an example. We've got movable. If you can move something, then it is movable. For example, like a table that is not attached to the ground and you can move it around, that's movable. A table that's attached to the ground and you couldn't move it, that's not movable. Bendable, we've got like something that is able to be bent, like a thin piece of wire is bendable. Visible, you might not recognize the base word in that one. That's because it's not exactly a word that can stand on its own. It comes from another language. But vis, like the word vision, means to see. So something that is visible is able to be seen. And then edible, you might have heard this before. You may have thought someone was just saying eatable. But edible is spelled with E-D-I-B-L-E, and it means you can eat something, edible. So we can notice that in the words that have the able ending, there's a base word that we can pretty much recognize, and it could stand on its own. In the words that have the ible ending, the base word, or there isn't really a base word that can stand on its own. It's not something we can recognize as its own word. Okay, but it's both of these suffixes make words into adjectives or describing words. So let's take a look at a few other examples here. Okay, so we have breakable, comfortable, horrible, usable, excitable, possible, believable, terrible, understandable, invisible, changeable, agreeable, adorable, payable, and impossible. Now let's take a look at all these words with the able endings first. Breakable, you can break it, it's breakable. Comfortable, so something that's comfortable isn't able to be comforted, but it's able to comfort you. It kind of makes you feel comfort. So like a couch can be really comfortable because it can make you feel the feeling of comfort. Usable, you can use something if it's usable. Excitable, that means you easily get excited. Believable, if you can believe it, it's believable. Understandable, if you can understand it, it's understandable, like a Just Right book. Changeable, that means you can change it, like the parts of a toy. Agreeable is a little different. It means that you get along with others really well. It's a describing word that means that you're generally like go with the flow, and it kind of means you agree with people easily. You're able to agree with others easily. Adorable, we think of that as meaning cute, but it actually the word adore means to love. So something that is adorable is able to be loved easily. Payable means you can pay for it. Now let's take a look at these words that have the ible ending. Now we're not going to notice a base word that is easily recognized, but the word horrible we know is means something really bad. Possible means it can happen. Terrible is a describing word that is similar to horrible, means something really bad. We learned visible earlier. Invisible has a prefix on it, and it means you cannot see it. If it's invisible, you cannot see it. And impossible is the opposite of possible. It's got a prefix that means not, or the opposite of. So impossible, the opposite of. Again, notice words with able ending, those have a base word we can recognize. Words with ible endings often do not have a base word we can recognize, but all of these words are adjectives. They are used to describe things.